Welcome to a rainy Rudd Field here on the campus of Elon University as Lac Sports Network proud to present the CAA Game of the Week. Today, live here in Elon, it's a women's matchup between the Hofstra Pride and the host Elon Phoenix. Hi, everybody. So glad that you're with us. Matt Martucci along with former Syracuse All-American Hallie Quillinan. Number one, it's nice to be dry. Number two, today we have a matchup of two of the hottest teams in the CAA. Senior day for Elon, trying to send out what is 11 of them with a win. This will be one that they'll remember, I think, because of the conditions, but obviously you want to get a victory, too.
No, absolutely. You know, this is going to be a battle. I think this is a must-win for both of these teams, which will be crucial here in the conditions. I think playing smart, playing safe lacrosse here, but getting out there and getting after it. And I think for these Elon seniors, they want to make sure they're sending themselves off the right way.
Our Lac Sports Network Star Watch today. Side-by-side comparison, Alyssa Perella, Rachel Ramirez. Perella, one of the top scorers in this conference. Ramirez playing some of the best defense in the league.
You know, Alyssa Perella, team high goals with 47, team high goals with 27 assists, points, ground balls, calls turnovers, draw controls. She leads this team. You can't ask much more of a player, let alone a freshman. And Rachel Ramirez coming off a season high 15 saves versus Delaware. I think that she is this team's anchor defensively. And today it's going to be a battle. You know, Hofstra has a lot of threats offensively. It's going to be up to Ramirez to respond here.
Well, raining most of the morning. But the field has held up, and they were expecting bad weather the last few days, but for the most part, had been nice here in Elon. Draw control circle, one to watch today. Alyssa Perella, Stephanie Asher, two of the best scorers in this league, and also two of the best out at the draw control circle. And it doesn't take long for the Pride to get possession. Hofstra the blue, Elon the white, and what is the third ever meeting between the two programs.
And I think, you know, one thing we're going to see here with the conditions, it is rainy, it is a little slippery out there. It's going to come down to valuing the ball, really making the most out of your possessions and taking care of it, making smart passes. It's a little sloppy out there. You don't want to play into conditions. You want to play the smart game out there today.
Yeah, and I mean, the wet weather, you and I talked about it a little bit off air, can really affect sticks.
It can affect your footing. It can certainly affect your stick release, whether it's passing or shooting. So once again, you know, getting open, making smart passes, and not forcing anything, just making sure that the right pass is there.
Phoenix with the possession. Nice dodge by Sinakori, but pulled out of the air by Maddie Fields, the sophomore goalie from Catonsville, Maryland. And Hofstra in an offense almost 13 goals per contest, bringing it in between the boxes. Quick foul on the Phoenix as Matera with a couple of roll dodges and into the Elon attack zone.
Elon doing a great job there, redefending, trying to slow the ball down as much as they can and causing a turnover right there.
Bridget Lamb, part of what is an experienced defensive unit. Spearheaded by a couple seniors in Olivia Fernandez and Lane Yuji. And coming across the middle of that zone, guess who? Perella.
And that's a name we're certainly going to hear a lot today. I mean, you saw she gets the ball, she looks to go. As a freshman, you know, you really can't even call her a freshman at this juncture of the season. She has a full season under her belt, being this team's #1 threat.
Out of bounds, and Elon triggers it in. Phoenix a pair of wins, dominated Drexel 15-2, then beat Delaware by 3. Hoping for a third straight. And the bounce shot and the score, their leading scorer. It's Asher to start things off just a couple minutes in.
Shannon Horan just legging the ball upfield, showcasing her speed and really just Elon's ability to get up the field as fast as they can. And Asher, what you love there on that shot, a lot of patience. You know, she gets it right there on the doorstep, but watch her here just dodging in, and a quick hitch was all she needs here to put it right past field. Just great shot placement there by Asher.
49th goal, 57th point of the year for the scoring machine, Stephanie Asher. Career goal number 131. And for a program that's only 4 years old, setting some nice precedents to try and follow for those that end up coming a little later.
Absolutely. You know, Asher, I think that, that goal for Elon means a lot. Obviously puts them on the board, but when your leading scorer and your top player is able to put the ball in the back of the net, I think there's a calming presence that brings to your team offensively.
Well, and especially because of the setting, because you think of senior day, and sometimes it can go one of two ways, where there's some nerves that you're playing in front of maybe a larger crowd than you typically do. Family members are in town.
I think you really just spoke to it right there. I mean, I remember my senior day in college. We lost that game because I think the day got away from us a little bit, just a little too much excitement. So focus plays a key role here today.
Yeah, seen it happen multiple times on the basketball court for a lot of teams, even against sometimes lesser competition, where they just come out jittery and it doesn't necessarily go the way they want it to. But the Phoenix continue to start strong. And a second goal, this time Nicole Sinakori.
Sinakori just doing a great job here, dodging, and she's explosive out of that dodge, which I think sets her shot up so perfectly. She's hitting her dodge with a quick 1-2 step, and the minute she gets off that dodge, her body almost acts as a screen on the shot here, and she just able to rifle one right past Fields, and there's actually going to be a yellow card on the shot as well. So Amanda Seacamp will head to the sideline, and
that's a big loss right off the bat.
Absolutely, just a little too much contact into her head there, and Elon will get the ball right off the draw control because that foul was made on the shot.
Seacamp, an honorable mention, all CAA selection during the preseason.
That's a yellow card for Hofstra, number 10, Amanda Seacamp.
Sound 2-0 how we start. A pair of goals in a span of all of 17 seconds for the Phoenix. And possession awarded to Haran and Elon. And dish down low, and there's Sinakori for their second straight.
And Sinakori from none other than Asher, the two names that we've said so far today, and Elon scoring. And, right there, I think that was a classic look for finding that 2v1, when there's a card, when you're man up, identifying where the 2v1 is and taking advantage of it there. And that's exactly what Asher did, and she finds Sinakori, and once again, a nice hitch, a lot of patience on the doorstep.
Sinakori now an even 20 goals on the year. And this is exactly the way you want to jump out if you're the Phoenix.
Absolutely, Asher really just drawing that double and dropping to Sinakori, and just so much patience right there on the doorstep. We were saying it in our Friday broadcast, when you're on the crease, I think a lot of times you want to rush that shot, turn and shoot, but right here, 1, 2, 3 hitches to put it past Fields.
And loose ball in the draw control. And our keys to the game this afternoon. Well, for Elon, senior day, I think that says it all. Keep your focus, and Hofstra playing some really good lacrosse, one of the highest scoring teams right now in the league.
Hofstra coming off a monster win against William and Mary, but the biggest win really so far, in my opinion, in the CAA was Hofstra's win over Towson, and really setting the tone that they could bounce back from their loss against Drexel and get some quality wins. And certainly if they were to continue their winning ways today, Hofstra would be the Cinderella story of the CAA.
And Towson and William and Mary, after dropping what was 3 straight games, Drexel, Delaware, and James Madison. Pride overall 8-6, improving by what was 5 wins from a year ago. And still some more damage to do before this is all said and done. Birdsell trying to feed it down low, Sinakori.
And here's another yellow card, a little too much contact right there on Sinakori to the head. And this is going to be a key yellow card because it's Alyssa Perella. It's really the one player that Hofstra right now does not want on the sideline, especially this early in the game, does not want in foul trouble. In women's lacrosse, your first yellow card, you're on the sideline for 2 minutes. Your second yellow card, you're on the sideline for the rest of the game. So Perella is really going to have to clean up her defense and not go for those checks for the rest of the game.
Now, so far, 4 early shots for the Phoenix. Time of possession definitely in their favor. Spent most of our opening 4 minutes on this end of the field in the Hofstra attack zone. Nice feed, bouncer just wide left for Haran, the Medham, New Jersey native.
And Haran just coming down with a full speed ahead.
And Asher with a cannon, little sidewinder right of the cage. And backed up by Kessler. Sloan Kessler, one of the group of seniors playing today, has put together an impressive career. 168 points over the course of her 4 years at Elon. For the Owings Mills, Maryland native and McDonough product, and I think that says it all. You play at McDonough, you know what you get.
You know, you play at McDonough, you just know how to win. You know, I think that what she brings is just the IQ to this team.
And Scanlon with a feed to Birdsell. And the Phoenix flying high in the rain.
I don't think Elon could be off to a stronger start. And today, you know, I think that what was one thing Coach Hofstra said, that after those pair of losses to Towson and JMU, he wanted these girls to reset and have fun with it. And they certainly look like they're having a lot of fun out there today. And Scanlon just right here, you know, she's just so good on this wing and finds Birdsell streaking in the middle. And all Birdsell has to do is a little tap past Fields there.
5th shot on goal for the Phoenix results in their 4th score. Birdsell's 8th of the year. And somebody that they're really excited about, Melissa Birdsell, in our conversation with Josh Hexter yesterday on the phone, you know, he says that she really eats up film. You know, can't get enough of it, craves it, like really loves the study of the game. And meanwhile for Hofstra, Pride have managed just 1 shot on goal and have committed 4 early fouls and find themselves in a bit of a hole here on the road.
You know, I think one thing that Shannon Smith is telling her team, it's wet out there, it's slippery. You know, a lot of these defenders have come out. They haven't been vicious checks, but they've almost been a little too much contact, and their sticks are slipping off the body and upwards. So I think that if you're Hofstra, if you're the Pride right now, you really need to limit the fouls. This early in the game, you don't want to have 1 yellow card, let alone 2. You don't want to get into card trouble late in the game and be playing men down for the entire game.
And doing some lip reading of Shannon Smith there. As we take a look at our CAA standings, she was telling her team, you know, wake up a little bit. Hofstra coming in, trying to make a late push and find its way into that top 4, where Elon currently in decent position, though the Phoenix, their 2 wins over Drexel and Delaware, so that would put them right now in the 3rd spot.
And I think that's exactly where they want to be. You know, JMU has just made a statement this season. They've really had little to no competition so far in their CAA games. I think when you think of the CAA tournament right now, for those 3 teams that are tied for 3rd place, you want to maintain that 3rd position. You do not want to be playing JMU out of the gate in your first semifinal matchup.
That time, Amanda Seekamp, the one to take the draw for the Pride. But much like our first few minutes, it's the Phoenix controlling again. Melanie McHugh, the defender, up ahead to Maeve Cowley, another New Jersey product. They have 10 of them on the roster.
And after that draw control there, Elon just spreads the field so well, moves the ball, gets it upfield. And, you know, you look at the draw control numbers right now, possession has been so in Elon's favor. You know, in addition to that draw they got off the yellow card, they've gotten every other 50-50 draw control, currently leading that battle 5-0 right now.
Every facet of the game right now going to the Phoenix. Kessler switching hands. Shot clock more than halfway gone, inside of 40. Sinakori already with a pair of goals. They found Birdsell on the cut. Nice dodge for Sinakori. And draws the violation on Hofstra.
Sinakori just doing a great job there, really catching her defense off guard, because she's, you know, she already dodged and then she's looking to feed and then she reattacks and gets what she wants, and able to, you know, not only beat her defender but draw the shooting space card there to get another look at goal.
And this time sails wide. Thinking about an early hat trick for the Long Island native from Wantagh, New York. Kessler on the backup. Played just over 6 minutes. Phoenix have had what is 3 different players find the board, but lost on the ground ball here, and here come the Pride racing up the field. And it's Perella. And Kona, the junior mid, from Great River, New York. And out of bounds, miscommunication, trying to send it to Lexi Lenahan.
And Ancora, that's probably one of those instances where she's been tightening her stick, wants to make sure it's legal if it's ever checked, and just sails right over. I think we're going to see a few of those errors today, just as these players are trying to make sure that the weather is not affecting their pocket depth, so they make sure their sticks are legal, and probably a little pull too much there.
Yeah, you said definitely one of those instances where you could run into a lot of them, more than you're typically accustomed to because of the weather.
And right now it seems like the rain is held off. When we first got here, the rain was coming down pretty hard, and that's where it really affects the women's game much more so than the men's game. The pocket depth of the stick is checked after every goal, and as time continues to go and your stick gets deeper and deeper with the rain and the weight of the ball, you start seeing more sticks deemed illegal in the women's game in this rain condition.
Whistle and Phoenix will maintain the possession. A look over at Shannon Smith, 5th season, 41 and 43 for the former 3-time Northwestern All-American. But comes in having won the Pride 2 of their last couple games, a pair of wins, 6 of their last 7. Trying to win a 3rd straight today. Top of the zone, nice move for Cowley. And back to the middle, trying to go top shelf. And backed up Sitakori.
And great, I think Elon's had so many good looks on cage, but credit to their attackers playing behind. They've continued to back up and make sure that they have second opportunities there.
Cowley cutting and obstructed that time by Carly Ancona. And she'll get a free po from the 8-meter. And grabbed right in the crease by Fields. But Pride again sloppy with the ball.
And that's just a turnover there that if you're Hofstra right now, you can't afford to make. If you're coming up with key saves and causing turnovers, you need to make sure you're taking care of the ball, especially trailing by as much as they are right now. I think every possession has to be smarter.
And what ends up being the 3rd turnover of the game for the Pride. And only one of them caused, so a pair of self-inflicted wounds for Shannon Smith's team. Cowley out there with Shelby Scanlon. And the top of the zone, J.C. Cooper. A lot of options for Josh Hexter. And what is a pretty balanced attack, dominated by Asher. But Sitakori, Kessler, Kelsey Dupere. Lots of places you can go if you're Elon. And nice move, and there's another one of them. Scanlon, the 4th Phoenix to score.
Scanlon just does a great job here carrying behind. And, as you're a defender, she was looking to create for herself there. So I'm a little surprised Hofstra didn't send a double there just to make sure that she pulled out. But she does a great job, uses the mismatch to her advantage, and just continues to dodge in until she gets the rocking look that she wants. And right here, just a quick rocks back, gets her defender moving on the other side of her back. Some footing there, and just a great shot right over Fields. And right there, as you see the footing, that's what that role is going to play today. If you can dodge and you can get your defense on their heels, it's slippery out there.
And I think that getting out of the car today as we got here, that was one of my first questions to you. How are they going to be able to plant? How are they going to be able to stay upright? But the field is actually held up a lot better than I thought it would.
Absolutely. I think this is about as best condition you could ask for, playing on grass, and credit to Elon. They do a great job taking care of their facilities here. You're going to see a little slippage, but right now there's no standing water. The field is in as good a condition as you could find.
Godfrey, nice feed, and the bounce and score from Horan.
Number 31, Shannon Horan, assisted by number 11, Abby Godfrey.
How's a pair of goals in 13 seconds grab you? Scanlon and then Horan.
That was just, you look at what Elon's been able to do. There's been so many different facilitators and people that have really stepped up for this offense today. And if you're Hofstra right now, you have to find a way to stop the bleeding. You have to be able to get back. And, we've seen multiple Elon goals so far that have just been legging it up the field and really beating Hofstra down the field. So Hofstra really needs to make sure they're getting in defensively here.
S's are wild right now in terms of first and last names. Sinakori, Stephanie Asher, Shelby Scanlon, Shannon Horan.
This is going to be a stick check on the field. And this looks like this is actually a draw stick. This is not the stick that Stephanie Asher plays offense with. So Hofstra has elected to use one of their stick check calls. And the referees will go through a series of stick specifications, making sure the pocket has been strung correctly, pocket depth is correct, the stick length.
Hallie, I'm looking at numbers, by the way, and this isn't a misprint. Elon has outshot Hofstra 13-1, 9-0 on goal. The Pride have yet to even sniff Rachel Ramirez.
And that's really, you look at the offensive punch that Hofstra can pack. Shapiro, Perella, Lenahan. You need to defensively take care of business. And, we've seen multiple turnovers in transition. Fields has had turnovers, had struggle clearing the ball upfield. The best chance for Hofstra to claw back in here is to get the ball to their offensive facilitators and get the ball in the back of the net, ideally. And that starts with taking care of the ball defensively and in transition. Coming out of the stick check, the stick was deemed legal, so Asher will continue to play with the stick. Now, if that was deemed illegal, Asher would have received a yellow card here. So I think that was a good call by Shannon Smith on two parts. Make sure the draw stick is legal, and if it's illegal, you have the best offensive player on the opposite side on the sideline with a yellow card. So good call on Smith, but does not go Hofstra's way.
Asher and Becky Conto at the draw control circle. And violation at the circle, and Hofstra awarded possession. Conto, the difference in their William & Mary win, 9 draw controls to go along with her second back-to-back 3-goal game. And Perella off her stick, chased down, out of bounds. Third turnover by the Pride that was unforced.
And another sloppy play there. I think that it's just a matter of focus at this juncture. You really need to make sure that you're threading the needle on your passes, which of course is tough to do. As we mentioned, this weather can have an effect on sticks, but Hofstra, I think you just need to focus a little bit more to make sure that these passes are on the mark.
And now Phoenix can slow it down. 6-goal lead. Not sure we expected this coming out of the gate with the way that Hofstra came in playing.
I think Hofstra certainly one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest right now, behind JMU in the CAA, and Elon really taking advantage of everything they have here today. Hofstra had a Friday night game. Elon, this is their only game of the weekend. Elon staying at home, Hofstra having to travel down. So, I think what we're seeing is Hofstra's a little tired. Hopefully they can pick that up.
Ground ball and a transition opportunity for the Pride. Seacamp running it through the boxes. Shapiro, whose name we haven't really called, but in fairness to Drew Shapiro and the rest of the Pride, haven't called many names today because, frankly, they haven't been in the Phoenix attack zone much. And Conto obstructed, foul on the Phoenix.
And a good attempt there by Abby Godfrey to try to pick that pass off. If you're Hofstra right now, time is ticking down on the shot clock, but, there's still a lot of time left. You really want to make sure that you're taking advantage of your possession like they did there.
And we were talking about Shapiro, and it's Ancona that finds her way in off of the tip.
Number 5, Carly Ancona, assisted by number 7, Alyssa Perella.
Perella gets the assist. So Ancona draws the Pride's first point of the game.
And Perella just doing a great job there. Elon is one of many teams in the nation, especially in the CAA, that employs its own defense. And the way to beat that is obviously moving the ball, but always making sure you're looking in. And Ancona there really just that floater in the middle and having the patience to turn around and get lucky there, really putting it past Ramirez. It looked Ramirez had her stick on that. Just an unlucky bounce for her.
13th goal of the year for Ancona, her 7th in CAA play. And we'll see if maybe this charges up the pride. Conto and Asher. 50-50 ball. And won by the pride. And they move it quickly to Perella. The feed down low. And a second straight score. Credit Perella with another assist. And it's Mary Kate Garrity.
And you just goes to show there how quickly a goal can be scored off of the draw control. Hofstra doing a great job of making sure that the draw control goes their way and just smooth transition up the field. You know, obviously Hofstra caught Elon up on numbers there, and smart look by Perella, able to draw that last line of Elon defense, and, you know, really just the focus here and getting lucky with that right-handed shot. You know, if you're Mary Kate Garrity, you might want to put that in your left, get a little bit of an easier shot off there, but a great finish by Garrity.
6th one of the year in what's 9 games for Mary Kate Garrity, the freshman from Bel Air, Maryland. She's actually a Baltimore Ravens fan. Terrell Suggs listed as her favorite athlete. And Conto and Asher back to the draw control circle.
We've seen Hofstra here, 2 draw controls, 2 goals. So I think that this game, you know, you look at the draw control breakdown here, Elon 6, Hofstra 2 in the draw circle. Score, Elon 6, Hofstra 2. This game is going to come down to these possessions off of the draw.
And Matera briefly had the loose ball, but picked away, taken away by McHugh. Shannon Horan, who's already been on the board for a goal, moving quickly into the zone. Elon jumped out 6-0 if you're just joining us. A pair straight for the pride. The former Syracuse All-American Hallie Quillen and Matt Martucci, our entire fine LSN crew, here on a rainy Sunday afternoon in Elon, North Carolina.
Now, if we look at our screen here, you see Stephanie Asher is being face guarded. What Hofstra's doing right now is Elena Shore. They've elected to essentially play 6v6. What they're doing is they're going to put their defender on who they deem Elon's, you know, biggest playmaker. And Elon doesn't look like they're doing much to get Asher open. I think that they're saying, okay, bring it on. We'll beat you with our 6.
Yeah, and Sinakori does just that. A hat trick for her. And it takes just a minute for the Phoenix to come up with a response.
Goal number 21, Nicole
Sinakori just really being the prime playmaker here today. And, you know, I think that she's so comfortable back there behind that crease. She really is that field general, that quarterback for Elon. But she'll also get you as she's looking. You know, she just does a great job. She dodges to feed and then instantly catches her defender off mark and, you know, around the crease. She's about as smart as they come. I love the patience she shows when she's getting her shot off here, just multiple hitches to get it past Fields.
Boy, what a difference a little bit of energy makes. So we get one more look at Sinakori with a couple dodges. But looking at both sidelines, Elon Phoenix side bouncing up and down in rhythm, and Hofstra kind of stagnant. Indicative of the way this has gone so far. And Shapiro, speaking of footing before, loses hers, but there's a reason for it.
Just a little too much pressure there from the defense, and Shapiro hits the turf. You know, it almost looked like a bit of too much contact, but also her footing there. So I think it probably looked a little worse than it was down there.
Shapiro from the 8-meter.
Smart play by Shapiro. I love when attackers do that. I think sometimes when you're on the free position pass, you almost get a little enticed to shoot the ball, but really smart play. She didn't like the look she had there. A lot of Elon defense around her. She wanted to pull it out, take advantage of the shot clock, and look for a better opportunity.
Shapiro again, drawing the ire of Shannon Horan. Nice doorstep feed, but stoned by Ramirez.
And credit to Ramirez with that shot, but that shot is exactly what you mean. You're wide open in the middle, and you get you're just almost shot happy right there. You just want to get it and release it, and just a little hitch there would have made the difference.
And taking a tumble right in front of the cage, but Fields able to come out of there with that, and now we get the foul call.
And certainly we're up here, we're not on the field, but that contact right there to Abby Godfrey definitely looked like a foul. A cross check, that could have been a yellow card. And she's down on the field, probably a little confused why she didn't get the call as Fields is knocked to the turf.
Off the trigger, Seacamp. One pass and between the boxes, and Ancona, who scored the first goal, thinking about maybe another one. Cross field, Kanto. And found herself in the middle of the zone and somehow able to maintain that.
Kanto, great pressure, great stick work there, but Elon loved the defense. I loved how they had an unsettled situation there and were able to collapse and really just ward off that shot.
Perella, right idea, looking for the cutter in Garrity. But a turnover for Hofstra. Pride give it away for what is the 5th time. And good pass to Birdsell. That's where that 5'11" height comes in handy.
And smart play upfield by Elon, waiting to look for the smart pass, and Birdsell coming in out of the box, getting a little bit of an advantage there because the box is so wide on the sideline. You can have one person coming in closer to the Elon bench, and the sub coming in enters the field closer to the Hofstra bench there.
I mentioned before, it was 6-0 Phoenix. Last few minutes feels like the intensity's picked up on both sides as we're halfway gone here in the first half. Kessler feeding Birdsell. Nice slide and the brief double for Hofstra. Kessler 1v1 and out to Cowley. Shot clock down to 20 seconds. And really good defensive possession for the Pride.
A great defensive possession.
And Birdsell finishes. Fields ends up shutting her off.
If you're Hofstra, that's the defensive possession you want. You are successfully shutting off Stephanie Asher, making sure the ball does not touch her stick with a face guard, and Elon really unable to capitalize offensively. But another costly turnover here in the midfield.
Shore to Perella, lost it out of her stick. And Perella again, hot potato there out in the midfield.
And a break here for Hofstra, able to get the ball back and just all over the field. I think it's going to be so key for the Pride to take care of the ball.
Perella electing to send it backwards to the midfield to Shore. Now Kanto and Perella. Hofstra getting itself set up offensively. And Kona, that was almost errant to Kanto. Perella off the double and taken away by Fernandez. Inside 13 minutes to go. Phoenix jumped out 6-0. Haran ended up with the tally, and Kona and Mary Kate Garrity came back with goals for Hofstra, and Sinicori has since made it 7-2. That's where we are right now. Rain falling most of the morning, expected the rest of the day, but holding up enough to get ourselves senior day and get us on the air. And so far, Elon doing everything it can to try and come out with a win.
And right now, rain is coming down a little bit harder as time continues to expire in this first half.
Cowley, and you could see maybe the moisture having an effect on that one. Kind of took a little extra to get it out of the stick.
I think you look here, just over 12 minutes left in this half. There's going to be a lot of stick retooling at the half, you know, making sure that these girls have the pocket that they like, but their stick is also legal. As we've seen a number of these passes go too low or too high, or shots not get off accordingly.
Cowley, nice high feed to Birdsell. They play it from inside 12, now inside 8, Kessler. Playing from X, wanted Birdsell. And deflected to the top of the zone. Phoenix able to maintain. And shot clock winded down, yeah, so.
The first shot clock violation we've seen of the game so far.
J.C. Cooper had to let it fly. And Maddie Fields and Hofstra the possession.
And that's the second straight Elon offensive possession where this was the first shot clock violation, but certainly last possession, not really able to get that quality shot off because of the shot clock coming down. So, you know, Hofstra, aside from that early first half run from Elon, defensively has really buckled down late in this first half.
Momentum has come from the draw control circle. 7 wins there for Elon, 7 goals for the Phoenix. And overall, have taken what is 80% of the shots today. Looking for Kanto, Hofstra, middle of the zone, taken away again.
You see the Hofstra coaching staff on the sideline shaking their head. There was so much time left on the possession clock. You know, I think as an attacker, sometimes you look upfield and you see the transition opportunity in these conditions with the score what it is. You really need to make sure you're taking care of the ball in your offensive possessions, and right there, Hofstra did not, and it cost them a possession as Elon looks to attack.
And looking and seeing the frustration on assistant coach Torin Varn's face, former All-CAA player on the men's side. And joined the staff after a conversation Shannon Smith had with head coach Seth Tierney.
That's what he said. He said, one thing about this team and I love about the players that I have, they're competitors. They're so competitive with one another. So he said even the riddle yesterday, the riddle competition, girls were getting very heated.
Our regular season coverage of the CAA Game of the Week concludes April 29th, the game that could decide who hosts the conference tournament. The 15th ranked Townsend Tigers, 3-0 at CAA play, will take on number 10 Hofstra, 2-1 in conference after a loss to Drexel last week for Seth Tierney and the Pride. Pre-game coverage 11:30 a.m., face-off set for noon. The CAA Game of the Week only on Lac Sports Network. Game of the Week on our women's side. And what is 10 first-half goals for the Phoenix? Certainly having fun. Both Birdsell and Sinakori hat tricks. And 10 of the Phoenix's shots on goal, 10 of their 14 have found the net.
Much to Field's credit in there, a lot of the opportunities Elon has capitalized on have been straight on, doorstep opportunities, wide open looks. I think defensively Hofstra needs to buckle down and help their sophomore goalkeeper a bit more.
Yeah, 6 minutes for the Pride to try and get things a little more to respectability before you walk into the dressing room. And nice turn for Kessler. Coming back toward the middle. And that's the kind of day it's been. Everything going right for the Phoenix as Fields losing her stick into the air.
Fields losing her stick, unfortunately losing her footing. If there is anywhere on this field where the footing is not pristine, it's in those creases, it's in those goal circles. So I think that she retreated after coming out a little early. And Kessler, credit her, she's patient, but Fields getting a little bit of contact, getting in and slipping right there on her footing. And good look by Kessler. I think that she saw Fields struggling to get back in net, and it was a very heads-up play on her part.
First of the day for Sloane Kessler, career goal number 85 for the senior. And I bet that's one of those that's kind of an exhale on the part of Sloane Kessler. It's senior day, you want to make your mark, you do it, you get it out of the way, and now you keep having fun.
Get the monkey off your back, get the ball in the back of the net, and once again, I just think these girls are having fun out there. What's not to like when you're up 11-2 against a team that's very strong in your conference, and they've really just attacked from the opening whistle.
Kessler becomes the 6th different member of the Phoenix to score today. Asher, Sinakori, Birdsell, Scanlon, Horan, and Kessler. And as mentioned before, 6 of the 11 between Sinakori and Birdsell. And I'm wondering, is this a discussion about maybe suspending play?
Certainly you see all 3 referees on the field conferencing out there. And you guys have a great look at how hard the rain is coming down. It's just continued to come down harder and harder.
You would probably be more well-versed in this than I would. How long do you have to go for a game to be in the books officially?
I think that this game needs to go into the second half.
And now they're coming over to talk to both sides. And I think that the gist of the conversation was, if Hofstra's okay with it and Elon's okay with it, they're going to keep going.
And I think that's a smart move. I think this is such a pivotal game for the CAA tournament, for CAA seeding. And looks like the weather on field, the conditions are, we haven't seen too much footing issues here.
And actually, Elon Sports Information Director Andrew Wilson tells us they were discussing a foul, so it didn't have anything to do with the weather. I would have thought, though, but the Phoenix pick up right where they left off. Kessler again.
And this is just a fun, nifty shot. I can't wait to get a look at this replay. Kessler showcasing her strong stick here. And, yesterday talking to Coach Hofstra, that's exactly what he said. He said she just has such a smart stick. She's a high IQ for the game, and just a little trickery down there in front of the net. I'd say probably the highlight reel goal of the day so far. Kessler just wide open and taking advantage. A little Twizzler back there past Fields.
Did you ever get any of those?
I can't remember.
No? I feel like you would remember something that good, though.
I don't know. It's a long time ago.
Not that long.
2010.
Final 4.5 and change. And Elon could potentially take a running clock to start the second half if this continues to go the way it has.
And as we see, running clock right now. Once a team hits that 10-goal threshold, the clock will run.
Ground ball and controlled by Haran.
Haran just exploding off that opposite 30 to pick up the ground ball.
Yeah, yesterday we had gone through player by player with Josh Hofstra and went through the midfield and the defense, and somehow left out Shannon Haran when we were asking him about individual players, and I said, is there anybody else that you want to make sure you mention? And that was the first name that came up. And Shannon Haran, just a sophomore. Sinakori down low, fourth of the day.
Sinakori doing a great job. I just love the way Elon's moving the ball today. I love it because it gets the Hofstra defense moving, and I just love the unselfish nature of this Phoenix attack today. But if you watch Sinakori, we always used to call it look for the ponytail. The minute you see your defender's head turn as they're ball watching, take advantage of it. And I think she just attacks so well right here. She sees her defender turn, and she takes the ball right there, tiptoeing around the crease, making sure she doesn't step in. And again, a really smart shot on her part.
11-goal lead for Josh Hofstra's Elon Phoenix. By the way, Coach Hofstra sporting the shorts today. That's brave.
That is brave. It's chilly up here. I mean, I'm in the booth and I have my jacket on, so hats off to Coach Hofstra down there.
He'll join us before we go into the break. Might need to ask him about that, actually. Kanto, and actually had Garrity streaking toward the cage.
I think that's actually a smart move on Kanto's part. We've seen a few too many Hofstra passes sail over heads here. Let's take advantage of the clock here, take advantage of the time, and take advantage of the draw control, something that this team has struggled to get their hands on in this game.
Shapiro coming back to X. And again, briefly had Garrity. Trying to move in, it obstructed. Foul on the Phoenix.
We see Shapiro dancing with the ball back there, and Perella, our player to watch today, is actually on the sideline right now, not even in.
And Shapiro with a move toward the cage gets the push.
This is one of those rules that I wish it was a held flag. She endured the foul, she got the shot off, and it ended up in the goal. But because of the foul happening before the shot released, the goal is called back and she's put on an 8-meter hash, and I don't really like the look of this hash here anyways.
And yeah, the result, though, still the same. Sal Shapiro ends up getting on the board.
And right here, Shapiro just, we talk about Birdsell and some of these taller players using their height to their advantage. Here's Shapiro using her height to her advantage. She comes in, protects her stick so well, ducks in, but her setup, that's a tough hash for a right-handed player with two Elon defenders directly on her right-hand side. She comes in, explodes off the hash here, protects her stick in front, makes sure she gets a quick shot off in front of Ramirez, and really a strong individual effort for Shapiro to give her team some life heading into half.
And recognize that she gets to the middle of that zone. Didn't need a ton behind it. And draw control win for Shapiro, trying to create some more momentum. But another turnover. Was trying to get it to Matera.
And a cross check here on Shapiro. I think that if you're Shapiro, you really need to be careful with that. That could be a yellow card, and after Perella has one, you don't want Shapiro on the sideline with another.
And that will bring us to what is the end of the first half. What is an impressive senior day for the Elon Phoenix. And opening 30 minutes where they end up with 13 goals on the board and a pair of players already with hat tricks. Josh Hexter discussing a couple last-minute things before his team heads off to the locker room. But has to be happy with what they've been able to put together. They jump out 6-0 before Hofstra could even get on the board. And Josh Hexter now joins us. Coach, you don't look so dry. You don't look so dry down there just yet, but it seems like you're having fun. That was the gist of our conversation yesterday. You wanted your kids to have fun. Seems like they're doing just that.
Yeah, we just wanted to focus on the little things and stay connected together and really try to remember to just have fun, because that's what it's all about.
Coach, about as complete of a first half that your team could have had, is this the best lacrosse that you've seen your team play so far this season?
I don't know if it's the best, but they're doing a good job really just focusing in on each other, having fun, and really just trying to do the little things.
All right, Coach. Well, we'll let you head to the locker room. If you have a fresh sweatshirt, maybe not the worst thing in the world, but that one's worked out for you. You got 13 goals on the board, so maybe you don't change.
No, I'm not changing now.
All right, well, go enjoy it, and maybe we'll talk to you after the game.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Josh Hexter and his team up, as we said, 10 goals, 13-3 here at the break, here in Elon, North Carolina. Howie and I are back for stats and first half highlights here on Lac Sports Network.
A look through the digital lens at the sport of lacrosse. Our goal is to amplify the game, whether you're picking up the stick for the first time or you're a lifelong laxer. Games and programs that appeal to fans through all corners of lacrosse, including men's and women's, college and pro, the recruiting circuit, and the skills development, which is so important to advancing the game. Lac Sports Network. It's all Laccess.
Tune in to Lacrosse Now Face Off as LSN analysts go toe-to-toe debating and dissecting the biggest stories in the game. It's the hottest takes on the sport's hottest topics. Lacrosse Now Face Off, Thursday through Monday on Lac Sports Network.
Gone into a locker room at 2-6.
You're almost thinking that the season's over.
Back-to-back weeks now that Denver surrendered 20-plus goals, and they will have to clean things up if they want to turn this season around.
I didn't think we were going to really get to the playoffs. No one thought we would make it to the championship.
This could be the beginning of something pretty special for the Denver Outlaws.
And that's it! For the second time in 3 years, Denver does it!
For all of the day's lacrosse news and highlights, be sure to check out Lacrosse Now. From up-to-the-minute breaking news to interviews with the sport's top players and coaches. Catch it daily at 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern on Lac Sports Network. It's all access.
This spring, experience CAA lacrosse through the lens of Lac Sports Network. Over 15 regular season men's and women's games, plus semifinals in the first digital network dedicated to lacrosse. The CAA Game of the Week, streamed to your phone, your tablet, and even your smart TV. It's the CAA's best men's and women's lacrosse teams on the best new network for lacrosse. Lac Sports Network. It's all Laccess.
All right. Rain continues to fall here at Rudd Field in Elon, North Carolina. Halftime on Lac Sports Network, but hasn't phased the Phoenix. What is a 10-goal lead here in this first half? Hallie Quillinan, Matt Martucci, and Boy, what a start. 4 goals for Nicole Sinakori, 3 for Melissa Birdsell, and they've really spread it around as we get a look at our first half highlights.
You know, I think that Hofstra was so concerned about the punch that Stephanie Asher could pack offensively. They put a face guard on her, and the Phoenix have just stepped up around her. Sinakori doing a great job down there on that crease. Birdsell streaking in the middle and taking advantage of her mismatches in there. You know, players like Scanlon, Kessler, Asher, you know, certainly getting involved in the action despite the face guard. This has been a total team effort today.
There's one more look at Sinakori and her 4th goal on what is 7 shots today. Overall, Elon out shooting Hofstra 22-7, and not without a little bit of trickery.
You know, a little fancy flair down there from Kessler here, and you know, this is just one of those goals that I think picks up a team. It's a fun goal, it's a trick shot, certainly a highlight reel, and on the heels of another goal, she was back-to-back there.
10-goal lead, Elon and Hofstra a few minutes away from starting the second half. Once again, we step aside. It's the Phoenix by 10 here on Lac Sports Network.
LSN Live is the place to hang out, have fun, and talk lacrosse as we bring you a fresh and entertaining take on the most interesting storylines in the sport. It's LSN Live, Thursday through Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, only on Lac Sports Network.
You don't want to miss the newest show to hit the Lac Sports Network programming lineup, LaxFit, a show dedicated to providing smart exercise and training guides, tips, information, and demonstrations for the lacrosse athlete. We take you behind the scenes with RPM Lacrosse founder and director Malcolm Chase to show you how to train with workouts specifically designed for lacrosse players. LaxFit, only on Lac Sports Network. It's all Lax.
Lacrosse Central is your one-stop shop for highlights and post-game interviews from around college lacrosse. Tune in every Saturday afternoon as we showcase and break down the best men's and women's games of the day. Lacrosse Central, every Saturday afternoon, all season long, only on Lac Sports Network.
The Outlaw season is over. The champs will not get a chance to defend their title in the postseason.
John Grant Jr. no longer a member of the Denver Outlaws.
What the hell, you know? I don't know if I can say it on camera, but what the hell?
Back-to-back weeks now that Denver surrendered 20-plus goals, and they will have to clean things up if they want to turn this season around.
Gone into a locker room at 2-6.
You're almost thinking that the season's over.
This could be the beginning of something pretty special for the Denver Outlaws. The Denver Outlaws have closed out the regular season with 6 straight wins.
Long shoots and scores! Outlaw scores for Denver! And that's it! The Outlaws are 2016 Major League Lacrosse champions!
Still a few minutes from starting the second half here at Rudd Field, Elon, North Carolina, not far from the Triangle. What is a 10-goal halftime lead for the Elon Phoenix? And glad to bring it to you, Matt Martucci with the former Syracuse All-American Hallie Quillinan. Not sure we expected this. Elon responded to the challenge of what was some tough field conditions and honestly came out like gangbusters, jumped out 6-0.
They just shot out of a rocket. I think they had a mission here. They want to make sure that they don't leave any stone unturned, make sure they get into the CAA tournament, make sure they get the seed they want with the hand they've already been dealt with a pair of losses to JMU and Towson. And, you know, full steam ahead. I think heading into this second half, if you're Elon, you want to keep your foot on the gas, make sure you don't let up because Hofstra is certainly able to score in runs. You know, they have players like Drew Shapiro, they have players like Alyssa Perella, haven't put their best first half effort together, so expect Hofstra to come out strong, and if you're Elon, keep on going.
Yeah, overall numbers, basically every facet of this game has belonged to the Phoenix. Our first half stats, 22-7 in terms of shots. I think that says it. And 10 of the 17 draws going the Phoenix's way as well.
You know, I think draw controls, Hofstra's actually started to pick it up in the second half. They've been getting draws in flurries. I think what's the biggest here is turnovers. Hofstra really has to limit the turnovers. Many of their turnovers have not been caused by Elon. Elon with only a pair of turnovers. You know, I think that the shots will come once they take care of the ball. So limit the turnovers, continue to adjust on the draw control, and make smart decisions offensively. When you have the shot clock, make sure you're taking advantage of the time you have twofold. You want to keep the ball out of Elon's stick. They've been hot today, but you want to make sure you're doing your best job to get the ball in the back of the net, and that starts with Hofstra taking the ball advantage on offense.
Shannon Smith, the Hofstra head coach, now joining us. Coach, obviously tough first 30 minutes. What'd you say in there to your team and overall the overlying message to your kids coming out for the second half?
Yeah, our team, we got outworked and out-hustled by Elon out there, off the ground balls and the draw controls, and that takes a lot of heart and hustle. We just kind of told them they have two choices. They can come out here and fight like the kids that we know they are and the kids that we have in our locker room, or they can pack their bags and turn around. And hopefully we'll have the kids that come out here ready to fight. We've been doing it all season. This is not the first time that we face a deficit like this, so hopefully they come out here and ready to fight.
And your team able to score in runs. You saw Drew Shapiro kind of pick up the tempo at the end of the first half. What do you want to see out of players like Drew and Alyssa and really your key playmakers this second half?
They need to step up. Your big players need to play great in big-time games in order for your team to be successful. And right now we're just getting outworked. Our midfielders have been the heart and soul of our team, and right now they're getting out-hustled, and that's the first time this has happened all season. So they're a young crew, but this is a great learning lesson for them, and hopefully they're ready to come back out here and fight hard.
Coach, good luck in the second half. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
And there's Maddie Fields. Tough afternoon for the Pride goaltender. And Rachel Ramirez, meanwhile, hasn't seen too much, has only really had to stop 3 shots. Hofstra hasn't possessed the ball much in the Phoenix attack zone.
Hofstra, this is not our best lacrosse, and it's tough when you're not playing your best lacrosse and the team on the opposite side of the field is playing their, close to their best lacrosse. So I think Hofstra just needs to dig down deep and protect their goalkeeper. When she makes saves, they need to capitalize on them, take care of the ball down the field, and make smart.
And Josh Hexter looking over at the Elon sideline, stuck to his word, did not change his hooded sweatshirt.
No, I think that a lot of people on field and on the sidelines here would have liked to have changed. The rain is coming down harder than it has since this game opened. 30 more minutes. Get through these 30 minutes, and then the dry change of clothes is in the locker room waiting.
Even flowing into the press box here. Have to protect laptops, walkie-talkies, all kinds of things. Potential hazards up here. But we're dry, Hallie. That's nice.
That's all that matters up here.
Pride send it to Perella. And quickly up ahead, Garrity. Energy on this possession. Seacamp. And Perella fouled. 16th of the game on Elon. Just inside of 12 meters for Alyssa Perella.
And Perella, a player much like Shapiro, I think when they get going, the rest of the team follows. And she'll look to up her first half performance. I think she was a little disappointed. You saw the shoulders shrug, the head go down. I think that she's going to look to really up the ante here and lead this team as unfortunately she just tosses it away there.
Ramirez runs down the ground ball. I think that's the fun thing, when you're the leading goaltender, especially when you have a 10-goal lead. You can be as aggressive really as you want to be coming out of the cage.
And, I think that certainly the Elon offense deserves credit for these 13 goals, but so does Ramirez. She's come up with some key saves. She's cleared the ball successfully. She's really anchored a smart Elon defensive unit today.
Oh, a driving rain, as you can see, dropping in front of our cameras as hard as it's rained all afternoon now. Sinakori has been the story, one of them today for Elon. Looking for the feed in front to Godfrey. And chased down. Phoenix will even win that battle, but knocked out by the defender, Annalise Martin.
Smart play by Martin, able to hustle over there, get the stick check. It almost looked like that ball was kind of going to stop right before the sideline, so still a good play by Elon getting over to it.
Running clock with the Phoenix up by 10, even on dead balls. And Hofstra and Kona fanned middle of the zone. And picked up by Fernandez, the former attacker who made the transition to defense a couple years ago. In Coach Hexter's words, out of necessity.
We asked him yesterday, what was that move like? What was the rationale behind it? And he said, we had to do it. She's just such a smart defender. Her IQ defensively, she's able to pick up ground balls and transition them out of the field. She has a good stick.
And Olivia Fernandez, another one of those Jersey kids, and one of the 11 seniors today for the Elon Phoenix, playing in their final home game.
And for these seniors, especially special, they were the ones that started it all here. So I think that this game has such a meaning for them. Not only is, their time here coming to a close on their home field, these are the first kids to step on this field and represent Elon. Certainly a bittersweet day for them.
And they wrap up their regular season in less than a week at William and Mary next Saturday, where they'll take on a struggling Pride program. Perella stopped by Ramirez again, who even has time to just knock it down and leave it at her feet for a second.
Ramirez doing a great job there. Perella coming down. Ramirez hit her pipe, was able to watch that shot as it was released, and Ramirez slowly kind of emerging as a silent MVP in this one.
Credit to everyone out there right now, both sides. These conditions are not that they weren't already in the first half, but even more less than ideal.
These conditions are tough. Footing, your stick, it's cold out there.
Well, you had a story for me before about playing against Virginia Tech in the rain, where things were a little bit crazy when you were at Cuse.
It was actually Cal.
Or Cal.
Out in California. We were playing. It was torrentially downpouring, coming, sleeting. We were excited leaving Syracuse in the month of February.
And it never rains in California either.
We were just, we were excited to get out in the sunshine. You think California sun. And we get out there, out of the dome, and into the trenches.
Kessler already with a pair of highlight reel goals. Godfrey looking for an alley. Shot clock down to 13. Phoenix, though, content to let it wind all the way down. Birdsell, fans coming across on the right side cut. And a foul on the Phoenix as Matera trying to bring it through.
Great defensive effort there by Hofstra, once again electing to face guard Asher and give themselves an opportunity to just play 6v6 as they have numbers coming up field.
And Kona moving quickly. And again, miscommunication, couldn't set up Kanto. Shapiro turns it over. Boy, how many times have we said that today?
That there was just, that was a good look, a perfect pass. I actually think that might have been Kanto, just a little too excited. I think when you're that open player, the next move is to shoot. Sometimes you turn and shoot before you catch.
You're a step ahead, yeah. Mind a little bit ahead of body. Played 6 minutes. And I think that had to do with the substitution.
It looked like substitution, a little bit of confusion with the clock, kind of changing of possessions here. The minute the ball has changed possession.
Kessler backs it out. And yeah, you do have a shot clock, but very much in your favor now if you're Elon.
If you're Elon, I think that you just ride this out. You don't need to force any looks offensively. The conditions are not as good as they were in the beginning of the game, so just take care of that ball, make Hofstra come out and play you, and just continue to play smart lacrosse.
Yeah, shot clock more or less in this situation almost feels like a 90-second stall clock.
And it could be. I think looking at the time of possessions, Hofstra really has to do two things. They need to limit almost every scoring opportunity that Elon has throughout the remainder of this game and capitalize on all of theirs.
Sinakori got it knocked away from behind, caused turnover for the Pride. Perella getting it from Fields. And shielded by Cooper. But again, another tough offensive opportunity for the Pride. Ends up going back to the Phoenix.
Perella just trying to do a little too much there, I think, getting excited coming upfield. She knew she had numbers, but, you know, as we mentioned, I think Hofstra just needs to take care of the ball in these possessions. Don't worry about getting the fast break. Don't worry about trying to make it look pretty by connecting the dots upfield. Use the possession clock to your advantage and play smart lacrosse right now.
Perella, the National Offensive Player of the Week, has this one deflected off of Ramirez and out. Canto running for the backup. Becky Canto, senior from right there in West Hempstead. Not far from the Hofstra campus. Shapiro, who ended up finishing the first half with the third Pride goal. Trying to set up the cut to Lenahan. Nothing there for the former CAA All-Rookie. And a foul call on the Phoenix as Matera trying to run that down. Continues to be a running clock. Canto and the Pride could change that if they can find a way to get on the board again. Shapiro trying to force the issue. Ramirez again right there for the ground ball. Foul on Hofstra. Cowley running it between the boxes. And good open field run from Maeve Cowley. And no need to rush once again for the Phoenix. Shot clock about a third of the way gone.
I think Elon, they're in the driver's seat right now, so they just need to adjust to whatever Hofstra throws at them. Take their time offensively, you know, certainly get the offense going in that 20 to 15 second range on these clocks, but, you know, use the clock to your advantage. Take that time to possess the ball and keep it out of the Hofstra offensive end.
Cowley lost it, coming on that right wing cut. Hofstra will get it back. Foul on the Phoenix. Actually, correction. Yep, nope, they will. The midfielder Smith briefly triple teamed. And Sidikori showing she can do a lot more than just score goals. Birdsell and Cowley. I think that's the scariest thing about this Elon offense in a good way. You really don't lose much. And you still have, obviously, another regular season game in the CAA playoffs, but you start to think about looking forward. And a lot of your offensive core is pretty much back. Kessler is really, and Anna Vitan, the only two that you lose.
Yeah, I mean, this Elon team is so strong, and you can just see today the connections, the chemistry this offensive unit has with each other. You know, it's scary. Most of them have another year to continue to develop that.
Off the free position. And putting it in, Asher. Had the first one of the game. And Stephanie Asher makes it 14-3.
And Asher doing a great job. You know, as you mentioned, she's been face guarded. She's kind of been pulled out of the game here a bit more than typical, but when she gets the opportunity on the free position does a great job of changing her plane, putting it past Fields, and, you know, credit to Asher. She has been phenomenal for this team all season long, and even as she's removed offensively from the bulk of the play, she's been redefending. She's been making sure that she's doing everything she can to help this team, and now she's back in the scoring column.
And we'll go back to the draw control circle, where the Phoenix have been a little better than 50%, 10 of 18. And Perella a win. And a little behind Kanto with the delivery. Back down Ancona. Looking for Garrity on the cut. Lenahan trying to dive for that ball. And loose ball push. Phoenix will maintain the possession.
I think there's a little Hofstra frustration, but that looked like the good call to me. Too much parallel stick and too much contact there on Haran.
With the running clock, we're already halfway through what is our second half. And Haran looking to score, but a little bit more passive now with the game being in the spot that it is. Birdsell, Godfrey, Haran, Kessler all out there for Elon.
I'm a little surprised that Hofstra is still electing to face guard Stephanie Asher. I think at a time of the game like this where multiple other players, Sinakori, Scanlon, Kessler, have shown that they can pack an offensive punch here, you don't want to give this Elon team time and room. So I'm a little surprised they've continued to do that with their face guard.
Second most goals the Pride have given up today in terms of CAA play. Allowed Townsend to score 15 in what was a 2-goal win. And Kessler, they recognized the double and found her open. That's a hat trick for Sloan Kessler now, the third Phoenix to do so.
And all set up by the play of Nicole Sinakori. Sinakori dodging in. Once again, she knows that Asher is up there on her wing, and she has a face guard, so that face guard is not going to be the slide. So smart play by Sinakori. She knows she draws the double, and heads up play. She's just looking for who slid to her. She knows it slid off of Kessler, so really good look on Sinakori, and once again, wide open in the middle of the 8. Kessler just has a lot of patience to put that ball away.
Well, the CAA semifinals coming to Lac Sports Network. See the top 4 teams from the regular season square off for the right to be the tournament champion and earn an automatic berth into the NCAA tournament. The men's semifinals set for May 4th. Regular season champion will act as the host. Then the women's tournament underway May 5th at Towson University. Hallie Quillinan will be there, as well as our own Travis Eldridge on the women's side. Lost out of bounds, and the body language, I think, says it all from Perella. What has been a tough afternoon. And Alyssa Perella, who came in 12 multi-goal games this year, completely held in check.
And that'll be Perella's second yellow card of the game, so she will be sidelined for the remainder of regulation here at Elon.
So a day to forget for the talented junior from Miller Place, New York. Or talented freshman, I should say. Her sister Tiana actually played at Hofstra as well, so second member of her family to be joining the Pride, and also had a brother that played at SUNY Plattsburgh. But just not her best today.
Not her best today, and unfortunate because it's on the on the heels of an incredible regular season. She leads this team in virtually every category she can, and just from opening whistle, I think that she's tried to do a little too much and was just a little frustrated there. I think when you have a yellow card, it should change the way you play. You need to play smarter, you need to play cleaner, and certainly a lesson that she'll take from here. Happened to me. I've had 2 yellow cards in one game. I think you learn a lot from situations like that. You learn how to play with that first yellow.
Pride with the options they do have on the field. They get a bouncer and Matera on the board. Just the 4th time for Hofstra. Alexa Matera, another freshman, coming off of what was 4 draw controls against William and Mary.
Matera just doing a great job there individually. Here is when the tides turn. Hofstra does not have the opportunity to sit on their clock and work for the plays. If you look at how much time is remaining and how much time is on these shots, on the shot clock rather, Hofstra needs to go. They need to run and gun. They need to score, get back to the draw circle, and hopefully do it again.
Inside of what's 11 minutes to go in regulation. And back to the draw control circle. Matera now on the wing. Kanto and Asher. And illegal procedure on Becky Kanto.
And just went early there, and that will cost Hofstra at least a 50-50 ball, if not a possession.
Sinakori, Kessler, and Birdsell combining for 2/3 of the goals today for Elon. 24 of the 34 shots we've had today have come by way of the Phoenix. Just dominated this game from opening whistle. They jumped out early on. Just 2 minutes, 15 seconds in with Asher, then Sinakori a pair of goals, and before you knew it, it was 6-0.
And I think that stretch set the tone for the rest of the game. They just came out guns blazing, and there wasn't much Hofstra could do. They put Hofstra on their heels early and have just not let up since.
Sinakori with the shot on goal, deflected out of bounds. And I'm sure for Coach Hofstra, it's rewarding to be on the other end of this, because we saw it happen to them against Towson at the end of the first half, where it was one of those little goal runs that ended up kind of blowing things up to start the second half.
Lacrosse is a game of runs. Goals can be scored so quickly, and a game of runs in a way that a team can either build momentum or lose momentum, and it's been impressive, Elon's ability to maintain momentum really throughout this match.
Shapiro over to Kanto. So we're inside 9 minutes here at Rudd Field. Rain has continued to be steady. And honestly, you mentioned it before, credit to everybody here, because this did happen today. Because when we got here and we were driving up 40, I was thinking that, is this going to happen today?
As we were driving here, you really couldn't even see 5-10 yards in front of you in the car. So we were wondering how they were going to do it on the field, and credit to these players, credit to the grounds crew to making sure that this field was playable and safe today, and also, playing to the sidelines. Credit to these fans for sticking it out and staying here for full 60 minutes.
Kanto mishandled off the feed from Shapiro. And Godfrey, by way of Denver, Colorado to Elon, North Carolina, brings it through. This is Anna Vuitton, one of those seniors. And now Cowley. And Abby Godfrey, major contributor on this team, starting midfielder. Said, though, to Coach Hofstra, how'd she get here? Denver, Colorado to Elon, North Carolina. He said, well, we had one of those one-day clinics. Said she ended up coming, and in his words, she killed it.
She killed it. She liked it here, and she knew she wanted to be here. And, you know, Godfrey is one of those players that she's just so fun to watch because she's so competitive. You know, she makes every 50-50 battle a 70-30 in her favor.
Sinakori. Birdsell maybe a little bit ahead of herself. Actually, correction, that's Cooper. And going down in a heap, both Matera and Cowley.
It's getting a little chippy here, a little physical at the end of the game, but also just slippery. You know, I think that was just a collision with the slippery grass here in Rudd Field.
Now both teams after this, one more regular season game. This one of 3 CAA games going on. Last we looked, Towson was enjoying a 4-goal lead on Drexel at the half. James Madison and Delaware were just getting started. And we get what is a rare pride goal. Becky Canto.
It's really Hofstra's passing game, just kind of skipping it down the field. Becky Canto able to take advantage as she quickly runs back to the center circle to see if they can continue to do it.
Canto with the first Hofstra goal in about 6 minutes. 11:28 for Matera. She ended up with her 9th. That Canto's 34th of the year. But yeah, senior day in Newark today for the Blue Hens against a James Madison team that, again, the toast of the CAA, who Hallie and I just saw on Friday.
And on Friday, they were just about as on a mission as you could be. And still, Coach Clay Spokeham was disappointed in their defensive effort.
And latest update we have, by the way, from that Towson Drexel game, 8-4 the Tigers. Carly Telekamp, one of the top offensive players in this league, with another goal. And Tigers doubling things up.
And currently, Delaware leads JMU.
Oh, how about that?
5-2 on the last update.
So now the Blue Hens pushing the Dukes a little bit. And they're one of those teams, too, with the way that they defend, Delaware, and the way they cause turnovers, that could be tough. And Hofstra continues to push another one on the board.
Goal number 14,
and Canto back-to-back scores.
Becky Canto putting her team just under that 10-goal threshold. Will no longer be running time.
Comes at the 3:47 mark of the second half. Actually, a really good job just to hold on to that for Canto.
Just a great look, able to come through, and you know, it's just she just hits that cut and angles around, freeing up her hands there. Good shot, good individual effort by Canto as she is back on your screen now, taking the draw.
Busy day for Scanlon on that draw control circle for Elon. Win for the Pride in Ancona. Now this could be a teaching point as there's a foul on the Phoenix for Shannon Smith. Maybe you look back at the film later in the week with your team and you know, you look at a little run like this and the energy picks up a little bit.
You know, I think what's so key for Coach Smith and her Hofstra team here is she has to be happy with the way her team is continuing to fight and not giving up despite the goal differential right now.
Kanto draws an opportunity. Free position and a chance for what is a hat trick for her. From that right hash, Becky Kanto with a hat trick.
Kanto's third straight goal of the afternoon. And, if you're Coach Smith, you can be a little disappointed with how your team has come out today, but certainly be happy in the way Becky Kanto has played, and especially down the stretch. She has a game-high 5 draw controls right now, shooting 3 for 4 from the field today.
And she's had to play a little bit bigger down the stretch of this second half, relying on her more offensively with Perella being out with that second yellow card. Godfrey, the win, the bounce, and Fields, maybe her best save of the day.
Godfrey full steam ahead, and Fields coming up with a huge save.
And Ramirez, the denial this time of Ancona at this end.
And a great stop by Ramirez, especially after a flurry of Kanto goals. Just able to get one back in the save column there.
And that's just 1v1.
We'll see another yellow card awarded to Hofstra here. This time Morgan Knox headed to the sideline.
And one of just what's a few seniors for Hofstra. Last 2 minutes of regulation. Elon going to go to 11-5 on the year. And a third straight win, third CAA win as well. Hofstra will drop to 8-7, 2-4 in conference play, and a game under 500 on the road.
I think the way Elon approached this game, just all business today. They wanted to leave nothing up to the rest of the CAA field. You saw a week ago anything could happen. Towson, a team that's in the top 20, Hofstra able to come up with a key win. And I think a win today really cemented not only a good, into the CAA tournament, but a good position. They don't want to be playing JMU. So, strong finish by Elon here as yet another yellow card is awarded to Hofstra. This time Amanda Seecamp headed to the sideline, and 6 yellow cards today in this game, all 6 to the Hofstra Pride.
Yeah, very much a good indicator of what kind of day it's been. A lot of frustration for the Pride.
A lot of frustration for the Pride, but credit, this was a tough stretch for them. Coming down, traveling down from Long Island, playing William and Mary on Friday. They have tough legs, continuing their trek down south to Elon and playing a team with fresh legs. That second game in 48 hours is always tough. It's even more tough when you're playing a team that's not coming off a Friday night contest.
Now, I know we're winding the clock back a few years, but 2010, was your schedule kind of like this?
Absolutely. It was when Syracuse was in the Big East, and typically we did have travel partners, so you had those Friday, Sunday games, and, of course, it's all readying your team for the Final Four. You play that Friday, Sunday tilt in the Final Four, so really these conference matchups ready a team for that May stretch, should it come to pass.
Well, what's likely the last possession of this game to the Hofstra Pride. But maybe not. Ground ball lost. And the Phoenix have it deflected by Fields with 5 seconds to go. And that will do it. On a rainy Sunday afternoon, a dominating performance on senior day for the Elon Phoenix to win what is a third straight game and go what is over 500 in CAA play, and even more so solidify themselves for what they hope is a top 3 seed in the upcoming CAA semis.
And absolutely, I think that was the goal heading into this game today, and succeeded for the Elon Phoenix. They just had such a strong start to this game, and even more impressive how they finished.
Well, 8-goal win for the Phoenix. Hallie and I will be back to wrap it up, talk with, of course, Coach Hofstra and our player of the game. It's the Phoenix, our CAA Game of the Week winner this afternoon here on Lac Sports Network.